Hi, I'm Susan. The story I'm about to share happened a few years ago, and I'm grateful that I've since distanced myself from the people involved. While we shared many enjoyable moments, the negative experiences ultimately overshadowed the good, leading to the end of our relationship. Before getting into what happened, I think it's important to give some background on my ex-husband, Chase, and his family. Chase and I met during our final year of college. We often found ourselves studying at the library on weekends, which led to casual conversations, followed by dates, and eventually a relationship. About 6 months after graduating, we decided to take the next step and moved in together. Chase was laid back and easygoing, balancing out my more structured and organized nature. His relaxed approach to life complemented my tendency to plan things in advance. Once we had settled into our routine, we figured it was time to introduce each other to our families. My family, being protective, treated Chase to a sort of interrogation before approving of him. Meeting Chase's parents, however, gave me a better understanding of where his carefree nature came from. His family loved playing pranks. It was their way of bonding. While they respected my dislike for being pranked, the first instance happened early in our relationship. When I first met them, they deliberately served me an oversized portion of food. I was completely unaware since Chase hadn't warned me about his family's love for practical jokes. As everyone exaggerated how delicious the meal was, I kept eating, not wanting to seem rude. Chase's father, Idris, encouraged me, saying, "Come on, Susan, you have to finish it all. We wouldn't want you leaving the table hungry." I was already starting to feel uncomfortably full when Chase's mother suddenly broke into laughter. Confused, I looked at her, and she finally admitted, "Oh, sweetheart, stop eating. It's just a joke." They explained that it was their way of welcoming me into the family. I couldn't help but laugh along, and from that moment on, my relationship with Chase's parents became easier. Whenever I visited them, I was always on alert, trying to anticipate their next prank or sometimes even joining in on the fun myself. I learned to enjoy their sense of humor, and Chase loved that I could take their pranks in stride. One day, after a visit to his parents' house, I asked Chase, "Why do you always make a big deal about me handling their pranks so well?" He shrugged, "Because you actually don't mind them." I raised an eyebrow. "That's hardly a reason. Who wouldn't be okay with harmless pranks?" Chase sighed. "You'd be surprised. I've had past relationships end because my parents' pranks were too much for them." I was shocked. "Really? That's kind of ridiculous. It's all just harmless fun." Chase nodded. "Exactly. And honestly, I don't even like pranks that much myself. That's why I appreciate that you're okay with them. You even join in sometimes." I smiled. "As long as no one crosses the line or gets hurt, I don't see the harm." Chase grinned. "I seriously lucked out with you." I playfully responded, "I'd love to agree, but really, this is just basic tolerance." I do have to wonder about the women you dated before me, though. It warmed my heart to know that Chase saw me as different from his past partners. He was the first guy I felt completely comfortable with, someone I could truly be myself around. He always respected my boundaries while making sure we had fun together. I was convinced I had found someone special. After 4 years of dating, our engagement came as no surprise to anyone. Chase even proposed in a playful way at his parents' house. His mother, Killy, accidentally spilled wine on my dress during dinner. Laughing, I knew it had to be another prank. She took me upstairs to change, handing me sweatpants and a hoodie. "My nicer clothes are in the wash," she explained. I hesitated. "What about Idris's clothes? They might fit me better." She shook her head. "No, those would be way too big. Just wear these for now." Not wanting to argue, I put on the clothes and went back downstairs. Idris suddenly pointed at my hoodie pocket and asked, "What's that in there?" I reached in and pulled out a small box. Inside was an engagement ring. At that moment, Chase got down on one knee and proposed. I was completely caught off guard, but I couldn't stop laughing. It was, without a doubt, the best prank they had ever pulled. We planned to get married the following year. While I enjoyed Chase's family's jokes, I knew I didn't want any pranks on our wedding day. I wanted everything to go smoothly without any unexpected surprises or potential embarrassment. Since I wasn't sure how to bring it up with his parents, I hoped Chase would handle the conversation for me. One night before bed, I decided to bring it up. "Hey, I need to talk to you about something," I said carefully. "What is it?" Chase asked. "I love your family and all the fun we have together, But I really don't want any pranks at our wedding, I admitted. Why not? He asked, frowning. I just want everything to go perfectly, I explained. What's more perfect than everyone having a good laugh? He countered. There are plenty of ways to make people laugh without pranking someone, especially not on our wedding day. Plus, my parents wouldn't appreciate it. That's why I was hoping you could talk to your family about it. Chase shook his head. No way. They won't listen to me. I was taken aback. I understand that your family enjoys pranks, but this is my wedding too. I'm only asking for a few hours without jokes. Just this once. I'll go along with whatever you want, but I'm not the one who's going to tell them. If you want it, you ask them yourself, Chase said firmly. His reaction frustrated me. I didn't think I was asking for much, and I would never have made him request something from my parents that he wasn't comfortable with. Despite my efforts to get Chase to talk to his parents, he refused. So determined to have a prank-free wedding, I decided to speak to his parents myself. One evening, I invited Kelly and Idris over for dinner and carefully brought up the subject. I just wanted to discuss something about the wedding. I began hesitantly. I know you love pranks, but I'd really prefer if there weren't any on the big day. Kelly frowned and Idris gave me a surprised look. You're taking away a family tradition from Chase on his wedding day, Kelly argued. I understand that it's important to you, but I don't think it needs to happen at such a significant event. I responded as calmly as possible. Tension filled the room. Eventually, they reluctantly agreed not to prank us at the wedding. But things felt uneasy between us. After they left, I let out a sigh of relief. However, I noticed Chase becoming distant. No matter how much I tried to talk to him, he seemed withdrawn. I started doubting myself. Was I overreacting? Was this really such a big deal? I didn't want to jeopardize our marriage before it even began. Torn, I decided to turn to my mom, the most rational person I knew. She'd experienced Chase's family's pranks without holding on to resentment. Mom, I need your advice, I said when I called her. Is it wrong not to want pranks at our wedding? Why do you feel that way? She asked, calm but curious. I just want a traditional wedding. I'm worried the pranks might go too far. Chase is upset, and I've already argued with his parents. They agreed to stop, but something feels off, I admitted. She sighed. You're not wrong for wanting that. Weddings are personal, and you have every right to ask for a prank-free day. Have you talked to Chase again? I did, but he's distant. I think they're planning something behind my back, something big and embarrassing, I confessed. Keep trying to talk to him. He'll understand eventually. Just be patient, my mom reassured me. Her words gave me some clarity, and I regained confidence. I followed her advice, eventually having a more open conversation with Chase. After a few days, he started to open up, though he still seemed a bit distant. I accepted that he likely felt guilty about abandoning a family tradition. 3 weeks before the wedding, Chase's behavior shifted. He became more attentive and cheerful again. Everything's fine, he reassured me when I voiced my concerns. I've accepted your request. The wedding day was beautiful. The ceremony was emotional, and we both shed tears as I walked down the aisle. An unforgettable moment. However, the reception took an unexpected turn. As we approached the cake table, Idris grabbed a piece and threw it in our direction, sparking a full-blown cake-throwing battle. Shocked, I froze as Chase and Kelly joined in. The room went silent as his parents laughed loudly, but I was humiliated. Why did you do this? I asked Chase, tears in my eyes. I couldn't bear it and walked out. Chase followed, grabbing my hand. What's wrong? Frustrated, I couldn't believe he was asking that. I can't believe you're asking me that, I said. I asked them not to do one thing, and they did exactly that. Chase tried to downplay it. Come on, it was just a small prank. He brushed it off. I was hurt by their disregard. I'm upset that you went behind my back to do something I asked you not to, and you thought it would be funny to humiliate me with what you thought was a perfect prank. Chase looked defensive. It was my parents' idea. I just went along with it. I shook my head in disbelief. The problem is you knew I didn't want this, and you didn't stop them. Instead of telling them I wasn't okay with it, you let them go ahead and do it behind my back, and then you call me a crybaby for being upset. He sighed. I didn't mean it like that. My voice cracked with emotion. This isn't just about the prank. I spent money on my dress, my makeup, and you ruined everything. The moment, the memories. The pictures I wanted with you. I left seeking comfort at my mom's house. Fortunately, I had the spare key. I took a hot shower to wash off the cake and calm down. In the following days, Chase didn't seem to grasp the full extent of what he'd done. I avoided him and his parents, finding comfort in my mom. I soon learned the wedding party had been affected by the prank, guests had disapproved, and Chase's parents faced backlash. Despite this, Chase kept trying to apologize. After a week of silence, I finally met him. I saw genuine remorse in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I never meant to hurt you. I promise this won't happen again." His sincerity convinced me to give him another chance. 4 months later, his parents finally reached out to apologize. "We're really sorry for what happened," Kaylee said, sounding nervous. "We didn't mean for things to go so far." I hesitated. "It took you 4 months to say that." Idris looked sheepish. "We didn't realize how much it hurt you." After thinking it through, I decided holding a grudge wasn't worth it. They made genuine efforts to repair the relationship, hosting dinners and refraining from pranks. I cautiously forgave them. They had finally shown they'd changed. 3 years after we got married, I got a promotion and had some extra money. "How about we go on a luxurious trip to Venice?" I suggested. Chase's eyes lit up. "That sounds amazing, but shouldn't we save more for the house?" "I've already saved for the house," I reassured him. "This is just extra for us to enjoy." After discussing it, Chase added, "Why don't we invite my parents? They haven't had a vacation in ages, and it might be nice." At first, I was hesitant. "I don't know. They'll need to cover their own expenses, and we'll need some space." "Of course," Chase said, "but it would be good to have them along." I agreed but remained cautious. 5 days before the trip, Kaylee and Idris stayed at our place to be closer to the airport. Everything seemed fine, and I handed them their tickets and passports while packing. They didn't even check them. Smirking, I knew my plan had worked. I'd given them one-way tickets to Venice. If they tried to prank us again, they'd be stranded with no way home during peak holiday season. The night before, I went to bed excited. But when I woke up, something was off. Chase was gone. The house was eerily quiet. I checked the guest bedroom. Their luggage was gone. I hurried back to our room and saw a note on the door. "Gotcha." Another prank. This time, I wasn't shocked, just deeply disappointed. I thought we were moving past this, but Chase and his parents clearly still enjoyed sabotaging important moments. Once I knew they had landed in Venice, I called. Chase and Idris didn't answer, but Kaylee picked up. "Did you seriously leave without waking me?" I asked, frustrated. "You can just book another ticket," she said dismissively. I dropped the bomb. "You might want to check those tickets. They're one-way flights." Silence. Then Kelly erupted. "What? You can't be serious." "I am." "Enjoy getting back," I said, hanging up. I knew this was it. I was done. When Chase's voicemail flooded in, angry and then pleading, I ignored it all. I decided to divorce him. It was over. After finalizing the divorce, I realized how crucial it is to maintain boundaries, even with family. Boundaries are essential for protecting your well-being, no matter who tries to cross them. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Stay stunned.